Hello there, lovely folks of YouTube, Ren here. Trying this, had some camera issues on the first take of this, so I'm just kind of making a new intro for my little garden tour video. You're still going to get all of everything I filmed before because it's too dang hot for me to refilm the whole thing, but I wanted to at least show my face in here a little bit. So it is July. It is hot. It is so hot. This is the time of year that I don't get to spend a lot of time out here because it's too dang hot. Things are growing. I have to do a lot of watering in order to keep them growing. There's some weeds out here. Not as many as you would imagine because the weeds don't like it either, but usually where I water I get weeds. So you're going to see really long grass as well because it's been too hot for us to mow the lawn. Usually my daughter's the one who does the mowing, but she recently got a job, and so her time availability to be able to mow has been cut down, and my ability to mow is, I can't stand it. It's too dang hot. I will sweat myself out into being sick, basically. So, but anyway, I am going to let you guys see the garden rather than hear about my own personal problems, so we'll get started with that. I've got my echinacea is blooming, and that will continue to bloom through July and August. I also have the monarda, which is the bee balm, blooming here. This is over by my hazel, of course. Bird bath is here. Bees really love both of these plants, so there's a whole lot of bumblebees all over here. I'm going to show you here, kind of going over towards the vegetable beds. Let me actually zoom this out a little bit, get a little wider. There we go. So this is my raspberries, and I just planted these in the spring, so these are doing really well. They're getting really tall. It's the best raspberries I've had thus far. I probably won't get any fruit off of them this year because raspberries, like blackberries, only bloom on the second year canes, meaning that next year I'll get raspberries, but this year they're just going to grow. The good news though is that I will get raspberry leaf for making raspberry leaf tea. So, yay for that. Tomatoes are getting large. I also have, this is potatoes in the pot here. Just kind of a one-off I decided to throw in there. I had a potato that sprouted in my pantry and I said, why not? So. But you can see my tomatoes. I have actual tomatoes on them. These are my Bisignano tomatoes here. And then over here I have my cherry tomatoes are almost ready. So, do need to tie up the trellising a little bit taller. They're starting to outgrow that trellis. On the other side here you can see my zucchini. And being a classic zucchini, look, I've already got one that's ready for harvest. This was not here yesterday. So there's my first zucchini there, and then I have a new zucchini plant, a little baby one next to it, because this does tend to get hit by squash vine borers, and I always try to stagger my plantings on those so to make sure I actually have some zucchini. Over here, these are my cucumbers growing up the trellis here. No cucumbers yet, but I do have lots of flowers on there. There's a little bee in one of those flowers. Let's see if we can get in there. Look at that little bee. Hi there. So, and then my eggplants here, getting kind of a slow start. Man, I need to do some weeding out here too. Look at this. Ugh. But I do have one that's a decent size. And then next to this, these are green beans here. This is my volunteer watermelon, which, look, has a melon on it. Yay! Over on the other side is my banana peppers, which are going crazy right now. I need to harvest. Look at all these peppers. Yum. I think I'm going to make sausage and peppers for dinner tonight. That sounds good. And look, there's another little baby watermelon. And then these are my jalapeno peppers, which are starting to get watermelons growing in them, so I'll have to do something about that. No peppers on these yet, but very soon, because they do have flowers. Alright, let's go over. Apples are doing great. It's hard for me to see what I'm seeing on the camera here because there's so much glare. But yeah, this is my Arkansas black apples. Some of these probably got a little bug eaten, but that's okay. They'll still be good for cider. And I do have a couple of the Albemarle pippins over here too. Oh, that one's got ants on it. That one's got to go. Just gonna, rather than letting the tree waste its energy on that apple, we're just gonna get rid of it. But this one is still good. So let's chuck that in the compost. There we go. And of course this one, my little lady apples. This tree is way down with it. All those branches are just kind of arcing down to the ground. There's so much weight on it. Alright, blackberry is still fruiting. I've gotten most of the blackberries, but there's a few out here still. I'm mostly leaving what's left for the birds at this point. I have been harvesting a lot of blackberry leaves though. I'm making tea out of that, so that's been pretty good. You can see my calamint is really starting to take off here. Stuff in pots is looking a little dry. I guess I got to come out and water this afternoon. You can see my sprinklers out here. I've been having to use my small sprinkler, which is kind of disappointing. I'll show you why in a minute. My phlox is blooming behind my Nicotiana. This one I'm really excited about. That's my feverfew. I just planted that this year, so I was not expecting it to bloom, but it decided to do it anyway, so that's cool. And then this guy's blooming as well. This is my wormwood, and you can see flowers on it are definitely very nondescript, just sort of those little yellow, barely noticeable things. That's my marshmallow just kind of leaning out into the sun and going crazy. This redbud tree is probably going to have to be limbed up over the winter. Here's one that's blooming that I'm excited about. That's my Inula Helenium, Elecampane. As you can see, bees really love that one too. And then of course this stuff down here is in bloom as well. This is when it starts to get unruly, when it's blooming. This is my pennyroyal, Mentha pulegium. As you can guess with the name Mentha, it is a mint, and it does tend to get all over the place. Alright, now I'm going to have to walk on this stepping stone, and there's a bumblebee right where I want to walk, so let's be very careful here. So I'm going to take you up. Oh, okay, there we go. Whew. Let's see if we can show you the underside here. Hang on, let me get in the shade where I can actually see what I'm looking at with my camera. Alright, so right up above me, right here, there is a nest in my tree. And that nest actually has baby robins in it. That's the reason why I haven't been able to water back here with my normal sprinkler. Because my normal sprinkler is the big arc sprinkler that will shoot water right up into the base of that nest. So, can't do that. I've been having to use my small sprinkler instead, which is very tedious, as you can imagine. But the job is getting done. Pond, of course, is back there. Needs to be refilled again. I've been refilling the pond almost every day. Here's one that's blooming that I haven't shown you before. Excuse the noise of my heat pumps here. This one right here, that's actually a native wildflower. It's called Lobelia cardinalis. Hiding in my peppermint there. There we go. So that one, it makes these nice little red flowers right around the peak of summer. Very attractive to hummingbirds, but also likes a cool, wet, shady spot. So tends to be sort of like a marshland flower typically here, but I have it planted next to my heat pumps because all of the runoff from my heat pumps will water those plants, and they like it there. So, but yeah, it looks a little bit like chaos out here right now. It's just a lot of weeds, overgrown. That's okay. Like I said, this is the time of year that I don't really get to spend a lot of time out here. You can see my comfrey especially is just all over the place. I really should have pruned that back, but it's been too hot. So, yep. Oh, and my chair is moved over there just because I didn't want it to get wet in the sprinkler so that I could actually sit on it. And then I ended up not sitting on it anyway, so I need to move that back. But that's what we got going on here. Let me see. I'm not seeing them yet. This is usually around the time of year, actually I think there are a few of them, but I don't think they're showing up on camera. This is the time of year that I get dragonflies in my yard as well. And that's always really fun. Usually around July, August, I'll get a big cloud of dragonflies just swooping around my yard. And only my yard, which is actually really interesting. That was one of them there. So I'll see them like, and they will actually kind of follow the boundaries of my yard. They like to be in my yard, but they don't really have much interest in the yards on either side of me. So it's fun to watch them. Anyway, that's what I have for now. I'm going to try and make several videos today that will then be released over time because I've been working a lot. But I'm trying, y'all. Anyway, I hope this video finds you well, and I will see you again soon.